When I have a project that I'm confident I can do, I don't always care if someone else is around to help or not. In fact, I sometimes would prefer they not be around because I know what to do, I know how I want to do it, and I don't want someone else telling me how to do it differently, slowing me down, or getting in my way and distracting me. This week, I looked under my house and discovered a water leak. A pipe fitting had broken and it was shooting water everywhere. As I looked at the mess, I thought to myself, what am I going to do? It was something I thought I could fix myself, but I'd never done it before. The next thing I thought, I sure do wish Brother Harrington was here. If you don't know Brother Harrington, he's a man in our church who knows how to fix a lot of different things. He has a lot of general maintenance and carpentry skills. I texted him, and before long, he gave me a call. After explaining to him my situation, I told him what I needed, and he said, I'll be there shortly. He came a little later and had the problem fixed before I knew it. I was so thankful for his presence and help because I realized my inability and my lack of knowledge. I desired someone else to be there. I relied on someone else's help and presence. The problem we experience in the Christian life is that often we feel confident in our own ability and knowledge, and as a result, we don't have the desire for God's presence and help like we should. Too often, we either feel that we can handle things on our own, or we just don't want someone else around telling us to do things differently. Psalm 86:1 says, Bow down thine ear, O Lord, hear me, for I am poor and needy. The psalmist was desperate for God's presence and help because the psalmist realized his own inability and need. He realized he could not handle things on his own. Verse 3, he went on to say, Be merciful unto me, O Lord, for I cry unto thee daily. He realized he needed God and was calling to him throughout the day. His need was great, and it was a constant reminder to him that he wanted God's presence and needed God's help. It's when we see our need and inability that we will desire God's presence and help. It's when we see our need that we learn to call out to God in prayer more consistently. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 simply says, Pray without ceasing. Some have wondered, what does this mean? I believe when we become desperate like the psalmist, we begin to learn what this means. When you see your true condition and need, you call out to God more consistently. When we as Christians realize our inability, we will desire to hear God, to have His presence, and to experience His help. It's one thing when I'm doing a project around the house to not want someone else's presence, help, or input. But as a Christian, I should realize and desire all those things from God on a daily basis. I should live realizing my need, desiring His presence. 2 Corinthians 3:5 says, Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of God. I must learn to live relying on His presence.